Good morning. It's Thor's day. And as Thor might have been a god who was a god for the people, defending them against troll shots and keeping their rulers honest in the face of the All-Father, I honor this day with the legacy of those myths. As some of you know, many of our laws that got usurped by the Judeo-Christian mythology were actually codified laws in Norse and Teutonic society. Many of those. The whole trial by jury, some of the principles of democracy, of course, most of those actually came from the Iroquois Nation. Now, we know that America is not a democracy. It is an oligarchy. It is a kleptocrat oligarchy. The kleptocrats, the big businesses, and the billionaires basically are thieves who've made their fortunes on the backs of the workers. We know this. If you dispute that and you go into that anti-socialism, old anti-communist bullshit rant that doesn't hold water, fuck you. Do some reading, catch up on stuff, because you're just looking ignorant. You're just thinking in an ignorant way, and you're judging something. And what you're actually doing, most of you who are doing this, do not have the wealth to be a part of that oligarchy. Most of you who are doing this are nothing more than brainwashed slaves of those masters. And they don't really give a shit about you or other things. And philanthropy really is a joke. It doesn't take care of poverty. It doesn't take care of income inequality. It doesn't do any of that. The only thing that will do that is heavy taxation on these bastards. And if they leave the country, great. They're not helping the country being here. Not really. And this crap about the stock market. I'm sick of pundits and commentators like Stephanie Rule and some of the cretins on MSNBC telling us the economy's really good because the stock market's really good. Okay, so granted about 50% of the population, maybe 52% own some stock. Of that, there is a minority, there's like 10% of the general population that own 83% of the stock. And I was looking at a chart yesterday that's showing that people who make $50,000 to $89,000 a year are getting a lot of income from their stocks and investments. I wonder out of those, however, how many are retired millionaires who have assets with those kinds of numbers who are getting investment income. That doesn't really make them part of the $50,000 to $89,000 a year working class. That makes them wealthier people who've retired and who are getting investment income. So I have to dispute those figures. And, I just want to puke when I hear people like Rule start talking about how great the economy is and actually inferring that Trump gets credit for it when it's part of a 10-year cycle that Obama created, which really hasn't helped anybody. Obama did one good thing. His policies pulled us out of the worst recession that we've had since the Great Depression. He did that, not Trump. The decline in unemployment was on the slope that it's on now during the Obama administration. Trump is just riding on the edge of that, and now it's starting to level off. There's plenty of economists, there's plenty of commentators and opinion writers who have decried this economic BS that comes out of the White House. All this BS that comes out of the White House. This guy was impeached. He got acquitted by a non-jury trial. It wasn't a jury, it was a Senate trial of no witnesses, no documents presented, and blocked by an old stump-jumping, briar-hopping piece of shit named Mitch McConnell, who has to get defeated in the next election and ushered off to his retirement to collect his investment income. And what I really don't like is these bastards, fighting us on climate change reality. These bastards are out to get as much money as they can. Now, most of them are going to be dead when the shit hits the catastrophic fan. They're going to be dead, so they don't give a fuck. We can only hope that they and their grandchildren might get hunted down, figuratively speaking, before that happens, because what they have should be seized and taken from them for the crimes they've committed. On that level, on the environmental justice level, Trump and his gang of thieves are criminals. They are criminals who are committing crimes against all life on earth, not just humanity. And they should be kicked out of office, taken to the Hague and tried by the ICC. They should be convicted and get whatever maximum sentence is available. Maybe the death penalty. I don't think they do that anymore, but at least life in prison. And I suggest putting them in a prison that is right on the edge of the environmental catastrophe. That would be nice, wouldn't it? We need to be rid of these people. We need to be rid of them. If we don't, we're doomed. And they don't care because they're on a short run, old person set of economics based in, I'll get what I can and maybe it won't happen. It's going to happen, baby. And if we don't do something real quick, there's no turning back. And the best we can hope for, those of us who have the resources, is to shore ourselves up and brace for what's coming. Because it's coming. And unless something is done about it, it's coming. It might probably be slower than what is predicted. And then again, it might be faster. Doesn't matter. Unless we take action, and take action now, we're screwed. So those of you out there who are skeptical about all this, well, you maybe need to do some more reading. There's plenty of factual data. The big dispute a lot of these cretins have with this is that there's no cohesive shot of peer review experimentation that is worldwide. There's enough of it to make sense. I think the beauty of it is there's many different techniques and methods have been used to do this, and they all point to the same realities. So I don't buy your climate denier bullshit. You're just doing that because you're either paid by the fossil fuel industry, like some of these, quote, professional, unquote, critics and debaters. They're paid by the fossil fuel industry. We know that. And I think a lot of these trolls are in that backseat also. But remember, the trance of the brainwash that rifes through our society, that trance comes from the propaganda that these cretins have been spreading for decades and decades.